Alright guys, it is a beautiful day today, and if it's your first time coming to the channel, my name is Tall and this is YouTube channel Traveli'n Tall. This is my 2023 Harley-Davidson Road Glide. I call this bike Black Horse. This is the one where me and Tanya rode across country on when it had the big tour pack on the back of it and some other things. This is in the ride around cruising mode. Today we're going to talk about, should you trade in your 23 and back Milwaukee 8 for a 24 and newer Harley-Davidson Milwaukee 8, specifically Road Glide and Street Glide. So let's talk about it.
Back down like my mule, roads clear, tank full, kick back with my feet up. I twist back and I speed up. Left lane, pipes full, move fast when it's got more. Clear skies. Thank you, Lord, I'm gliding. Perfect day for riding. 500 in front of me and I'm right here where I wanna be. It's a beautiful day and I thank God for it all. I'm Traveli'n Tall.
So, let's talk about this. Today, we're going to be talking about Harley-Davidson motorcycles, specifically Generation 1 M8s and Generation 2 M8s. So let's talk about the Generation 2 M8 before we go to the Generation 1. Now, if you don't know about what the Generation 2 M8 is, it is a liquid-cooled head Milwaukee 8. Back in 24, they made a 117 cubic inch liquid cooled head Milwaukee 8. Sort of very similar to the same Generation 1, but they added liquid cooled heads and some other things that they did. But that was huge. That was a game changer, having liquid cooled heads on the bike. So you're not worried about your bike overheating and all that nonsense where you're sitting in traffic and all that. Now on this bike I have I got the Thundermax air cooler, running some Redline synthetic oil, all that type of stuff to keep the bike nice and cool. So you got a lot of long life out of a motor, you know what I mean? And this motor has a Zippers Performance 124 Sport Touring Kit, which I have to say is the most reliable motorcycle that I have in the garage. Is this motorcycle right here. 100%, coast to coast, with my wife, 2-up, 7,300 and something miles, and it performed like a champ. But that's not what we're talking about. I just want to get you up to speed a little bit, what's going on, what's on this bike and that type of stuff.
Get ready for the Traveli'n Tall's Ride-In Bagger Show at Daytona Beach Bike Week 2025, brought to you by Harley-Davidson. March 6th, 3 to 6 p.m. in the heart of Daytona Beach on Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. Enter your bagger for a chance to win in 5 categories. Harley-Davidson Design Team Award, Tall's Choice, Highest Mileage, Best Paint, Best in Show. If you got a custom Harley bagger, trike, long distance build, or anything in between, enter for a chance to win.
But what we're talking about is the Generation 2 M8s versus Generation 1 M8. And should you buy a new Harley-Davidson, or if you have the older ones, just keep what you have. So that is the question to be discussed today. And I'm going to give you my input because I have a newer Milwaukee 8 Generation 2 Road Glide. One of the big differences that you will notice right off the bat is this navigation screen. The navigation screen on the new one is a huge navigation screen. It's touchscreen, and it replaced all of these gauges. You see right here, I got gauges here, all of these gauges. Funny story is, when I first started riding this Road Glide, I came off a Street Glide, and the Street Glide had the navigation right here and the only gauges right there. But when I first started riding this Road Glide, I didn't know where my turn signal indicators was. Let me show you now. So I was looking down here, but they're actually up there, because I'm used to looking at in one place for the Street Glide, you know, all lined up in one thing. I'm talking about Generation 1 M8 Street Glide. But when it came to this Generation 1 Road Glide, you have all of your gauges in different places, and nothing in a straight row. And not only that, guys, I'm 6'6", and I got a very long reach. The one thing about it is, I can touch this navigation screen super easy. But most people have an issue touching this navigation screen. They have to lean forward to touch it. And some people can't even get that close to lean forward to touch it as they're on the go. But with the new Milwaukee 8 Gen 2, let's just call them the Helix platform. The new Helix platform with the big navigation screen makes it very simple to reach it. And you don't have the problem of you're looking in different places for the gauges. Everything's all in one row. The navigation, the fuel, the battery voltage, the RPMs, all on one row, and you can customize that and change it out. So that's a plus for the Generation 2 M8. You could say that that is more problematic in case it goes out. Because mine I've started my motorcycle before and I got the black screen. And that's one time I thought, well, if it had all these analog gauges, then I wouldn't have to worry about that. But it did. It's just a hard reset that I had to do, and then it came back up, and I haven't had that problem anymore. But it did have a black screen, and I had no gauges at all. So with the analogs, you could say, you always have an analog gauge. But I'm talking about far as an upgrade and a feature that I think is more usable, having that single place to look for all your information is better. And also having all that navigation screen in closer to you instead of being so far away like this design was is better. People can reach the navigation easier on the new platform than they can the old platform.
Get ready for Traveli'n Tall's Runs at Hill 6, June 4th, 5th, and 6th in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you love meeting good people and riding motorcycles, then this is the event for you. And all motorcycle brands are welcome. So come on down and bring a friend. And if you don't have one, don't let that stop you from coming. I guarantee you'll make one when you get here. This is a family-friendly event, so bring the whole family. There's plenty of epic roads and beautiful scenery.
What do you think about the ride so far?
Loving it, man.
Awesome.
Great calls, great people. That's what it's all about.
Hey.
Great.
And you came from where again?
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Thank you for coming down.
Third year.
Thank you for coming down, man. Mother, son, out riding motorcycles together. That's a beautiful thing. What do you think about it so far? The ride?
Love it. It was wonderful.
How you doing?
Good. I'm blessed.
How you doing today?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. We've had a great time.
Again, if you like riding motorcycles and meeting good people, then this is the event for you. Come on down to Traveli'n Tall's Run to the Hills 6, June 4th, 5th, and 6th in Knoxville, Tennessee. Be sure to check out YouTube channel Traveli'n Tall and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when more information becomes available. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day.
The wind protection that you get from the new Generation 2, again, Helix platform. You get way better wind protection on that platform than you do this one. This bike has these openings right here, and I think it was, I can't remember, like in the 20s and 19s, they used to close off. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But then you have this, and I know that, I still got my vent closer right there, but this brings a whole lot more air than the Road Glide that's out now, the 24, 25, 26. If you like a lot of air, which I don't mind air, then it's not an issue. But on cold days, on rainy days, you're exposed in the elements a lot more than you are on this bike. So the protection that you get from the new Road Glides, if you're a long distance rider and you don't want to get as tired as quick, then that's another reason to upgrade to the new Road Glide or Street Glide. Street Glide, the new Street Glide has better wind protection too, but I'll do that video on while I'm riding the Street Glide. Now, the power, let's talk about that, because this bike originally came with a 107. Now the zippers bumped it up to a 124, but the power of the 117 hands down better. This bike was a 107, you had a 114, and you had a 117. All three of those motors don't compare to the Generation 2 117. It, in my opinion, runs a whole lot better. Well, not run better. It, in my opinion, has more power, more torque, all the way around. And you have the ride modes, which, you know, and this is a base model. I didn't put the ride modes on this or whatever. But, and you have the ride modes. And when you put it in sport mode, it is a real sport mode. Okay, what are we doing here? Get over. When you put it in sport mode, it reacts. It makes the throttle response that much snappier. And you got to be sure that you know how to ride, because you can easily, as they say, whiskey throttle it, or as you're kind of going through the parking lot, if you're heavy on this, you hit a pothole, and that thing does that, you can whiskey throttle the bike. So performance goes, it definitely has more performance. But I'm gonna tell you something that I realized after riding this bike and riding that bike. This bike gearing is a whole lot taller than that bike. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. You guys let me know if you noticed that as well. And since we're here, let's talk about the sound of it. The sound of the Generation 1 M8 versus Generation 2 M8. I prefer the sound of the Generation 1 M8. And I know everybody's saying, well, it just depends on what exhaust you have. No, it does depend on what exhaust you have, but you got to take into account everything creates some sort of sound. Any minor change that you do, the porting that's in the heads where the coolant is flowing through, all of that stuff, the way the heads are shaped, the intake, all those things change. And I am sensitive to what I hear, and I can tell that these M8s of yesteryear don't sound like the M8s of today. The handling of these motorcycles, the handling of these bikes are not to be even, they're not even the same ballpark as the new ones. The new ones handle that much better. The steering neck on this bike, when I get this bike and I'm in slow maneuvering or just, you know, turning the bars, it's such a light touch on the new ones compared to these. This front end is heavy compared to the Generation 2, the Helix platform. They are so much, it's so much better. It feels so much better. The bike feels so much lighter. I feel like it's technically, I think it's only like 25 pounds or something like that, but it feels like it's at least 70, 80 pounds difference. They feel that much difference. And the Road Glide makes the biggest difference. The Street Glide makes a difference, but the Road Glide makes an even bigger difference. The new platform definitely handles so much better than this platform right here. The reliability factor, the new ones are reliable, but I just never had an issue out of these Generation 1 M8s. You know, they just, you know, you don't have to worry about coolant or anything. With coolant comes lower temperature, but it also comes hoses and water pumps and stuff like that. Those things can go out, but the trade-off is you now have a bike that you don't have to worry about heating up on you. The smoothness of them, as far as the vibration, the new ones are smoother. So guys, I guess you know where I'm going with this. I can't think of a reason why you should not trade, especially if you're just going to like throw a cam in your Generation 1 M8. Cam upgrade is about, you know, pipe, tuner, yada, yada, yada. That's about, you're gonna be about $3,500, $4,000. Take that $4,000 and just go ahead and trade it in on a new one. That's what I would do, because you're gonna get the power, you're gonna get the handling, you're gonna get the look, and then still get the cam and the tuner and the pipe, but just do it on the new platform. I wouldn't spend any more money on the older platform, in my opinion. And that's my honest opinion. So guys, I know that was kind of lengthy in conversation, but y'all let me know what you think. Y'all put in the comment section below. If you traded for a new Harley-Davidson and you came from a Generation 1 M8, I'd like to hear your opinion. Was my take right? Do you think the same thing? Or am I completely missing it? Because one thing I will say, this bike is beautiful. I love this bike. I think it's a fantastic looking motorcycle, and it runs like a scalded dog. But if I was on the showroom floor ready to buy one, I would definitely go with the new platform. Definitely. Best upgrade out there. It does everything good. All right, guys, I'm in this video here. Hopefully you liked it. So, y'all comment, let me know what you think. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. I'm gonna continue on my ride, and I hope to see you guys at Traveli'n Tall's Ride-In Bagger Show. Y'all keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day. Oh, like, share, and subscribe. Keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day. See ya.